The next morning, before the sun had risen, the sky was just breaking dawn. Knock, knock. De lazy pig, get up. Yifeng was awakened by the sound, groggily opened his eyes, and looked at the yellowed bedding, mottled walls, peeling red wardrobe, and the Jay-Cho poster on the wall. Nothing had changed. I'm still in 2000. He had a long dream last night, where he married Gu Mushi, but upon waking up, he realized it was just a dream and he was still lying in a hospital bed. But now, waking up again, he found that the self lying in the hospital bed was also a dream. It's a dream within a dream. He got up and walked to the window, looking outside. Gu Mushi used a clothes hanger to tap his window, disdainfully saying, Ishao, why are you up so late today? Seeing him getting up, she put away the hanger and started tidying her hair. In the morning light, Gu Mushi, in a loose blue school uniform, looked especially three-dimensional under the light, with her fair skin seeming to radiate a youthful glow. Very beautiful. Yifeng leaned on the windowsill, watching her and chuckling. Why are you laughing, silly? Hurry up and change into your school uniform. I don't want to be late because of you. Gu Mushi pouted, I'll wait for you at the door. Yifeng grinned, immediately taking off his shirt. Oh, then I'll wait for you at the door. Gu Mushi watched him undress, her expression calm. Hey, Gu Mushi, aren't you going to avoid it a little? Yifeng teased, not seeing the shy expression he imagined Gu Mushi would have. Gu Mushi glanced at him, sneered, I know every single hair on your body, nothing to avoid. Hurry up, stop dilly-dallying. She closed the window, drew the curtains, and left. Yifeng shook his head, quickly changed into his clothes, brushed his teeth and washed his face at lightning speed, grabbed his bag, and prepared to go out. Son, aren't you going to have breakfast? Meng Xiaoyun called from the kitchen. No need, Mom, I'll grab something on the way. Yifeng replied, opening the door and leaving. He ran eagerly to the door, where it happened to open. A decent middle-aged couple appeared at the door, Gu Mushi's parents, Gu Xingzhong and Li Wan. Uncle, Auntie, hello. Yifeng greeted with a grin. Little Fang's here, Hixie will be out soon. Li Wan kindly patted his head. Hixie, come on, little Feng is waiting. Coming, coming. Gu Mushi appeared, with a piece of bread in her mouth, putting on her shoes and heading out. Mom, Dad, we're off to school. Don't ride too fast on the way, be careful, Gu Xingzhong smiled and advised. Got it, Dad, bye. Gu Mushi grabbed Yifeng's hand, and they went downstairs together. Yifeng felt her soft and smooth hand in his. This scene seemed to happen every day in his memory. They went to school together, went home together, reviewed together, and often did homework together. When they reached the ground floor, Gu Mushi let go of Yifeng's hand. Ishao, please bring the cart out, I'll wait here. Cart? Wasn't my bike's tire punctured by you yesterday? I don't have a cart anymore. Yifeng shrugged. Gu Mushi was taken aback for a moment, then slapped her forehead. Oh, right, how did I forget that? But then she covered her mouth as if realizing that she had slipped up. Alright, it's really you. Yifeng said sarcastically, then hopped onto her back seat. Until the bike is fixed, I'll let you take me to school today, hee. Gu Mushi. That's because you made me angry, isn't it? I won't take you, she pouted. Then should I take you? Yifeng raised his eyebrows. That's about right. Gu Mushi nodded in satisfaction. Yifeng got on the bike, Gu Mushi gathered her skirt and sat sideways on the rear seat, holding onto his waist. Alright, I'm all set, let's go. I suggest you better hold on to my waist, for stability. No way. Yifeng glanced at her, then pedaled the bike forcefully, speeding up suddenly. With a sudden acceleration, Gu Mushi exclaimed as her head bumped against his back. After the abrupt acceleration, Yifeng braked suddenly, causing Gu Mushi to fall into his back. Why did you brake so suddenly? There was a threshold ahead, I didn't notice it. I told you to hold on tight. Yifeng explained. Gu Mushi glared at him, wrapping her arms around his waist from behind. Okay, good, let's go. Yifeng felt the warmth coming from her, the soft feeling against his back, as if ants were crawling all over in his heart. He smirked, alright, Miss Gu, let's go. Yifeng rode a pink lady's bike, with Gu, the school flower, behind him, attracting the attention of passers-by. The onlookers' gaze showed some surprise and a touch of envy. Middle-aged people might think how great to be young. Gumushi, are you full from just a piece of bread? What do you think? Then let's go eat pork offal noodles. Alright. On the way to school, at a crossroad with traffic lights, there was a noodle shop, their go-to spot for a better breakfast. Yifeng parked the bike and called out to the owner in the kitchen, "Boss, 2 bowls of pork offal noodles." "Sure, hold on." An old boss in his 50s with sporadic gray hair popped out of the window and saw the two of them, asking with a smile, "The usual today, one with intestines, one with liver, right?" "Hee, yes, boss." Yifeng replied. As it was still early, with few people going to work, there were only 7 or 8 customers in the shop. Soon, their noodles were ready. Yifeng paid 3 yuan for 1 bowl, so 6 yuan for 2. Spending 6 yuan at once was a bit extravagant for Yifeng now. He carried the noodles over, and Gumushi took out 3 yuan, handed it to him, and then took a bowl. "No need, it's on me this time." Yifeng smiled, returning the money. "Huh? Is your brain not working, Yishao? Weren't you always afraid I wouldn't pay for my meal? Why so generous today?" Gumushi looked at him in disbelief. How come Yifeng suddenly seemed like a different person? It's so strange. Did I hit him on the head yesterday and he forgets everything? Hee, people change. Yifeng sat down and started picking out the pig liver from the bowl. Gumushi looked at him curiously, then picked out the intestines and put them into his bowl. They had a silent agreement to exchange ingredients in their pork offal noodles. It had been their routine for years. Gumushi found no more intestines in her bowl, but happily continued eating. However, she glanced at Yifeng from time to time. She felt Yifeng had indeed changed, but she couldn't pinpoint what had changed. The face in front of her, this appearance, were still so familiar. "Gumushi, do you have some dark circles under your eyes?" Yifeng suddenly raised his head, staring at her. "Huh? Do I?" Gumushi rubbed her eyes. She had spent the whole night worrying and couldn't sleep well. "Hee, are you losing sleep thinking about me?" Yifeng teased in a low voice. Gumushi blushed, a hint of fluster in her eyes. You wish. Only fools would think about you. I just didn't finish my homework and was preoccupied." Yifeng solemnly said, "Don't be so hard on yourself." Gumushi. "Silly Yifeng, you're the fool, this lady has an IQ of 115, okay. Is that so? Then let me quiz you. Go ahead. What's 2 times 4? 8. Oh, good girl. Gumushi? Dare to try to trick me. Damn it." Gumushi gritted her teeth and reached to grab. Yifeng grabbed her hands and smugly said, well done, quite clever. Don't get too excited, we're in public, with so many eyes around, it's not good to make a scene. When we get back home, you can do whatever you want. Gumushi. Bastard, you smelly Yifeng, I'll take care of you when we get back. She couldn't stand making a fool of herself in public. If there were many people around, she would choose to endure it and find the right time to get revenge. Hee, okay, stop messing around, finish your breakfast quickly and go to school. If you're late, it'll be a problem. Yifeng smirked. The two quickly finished breakfast, got on their bikes, and rushed to school. Just arrived at the school gate, there were many students on the road. Ring ring ring, classmates, please let me through. Yifeng rang the bell on the bike and shouted loudly. This action immediately attracted the attention of many students on the road. Hey, isn't that Goo School Flower? Oh my god. Who's that guy riding the bike with Goo School Flower to school? No way. Goo School Flower. Are they dating? Ah. My heart is broken. Oh no. My goddess. Along the way, Yifeng seemed to hear the sound of many boys' hearts breaking. This feeling, quite cool. But Gumushi felt uncomfortable being stared at by so many people. Why are you making so much noise? Keep it down a bit. I'm afraid of bumping into people, understand? Yifeng carried Gumushi to the parking shed and coincidentally ran into Wang Tai parking his bike. He got off the bike and greeted, Tizi, good morning. Morning, Funga. That old popsicle from yesterday. Hey, don't mention that, asking for money hurts feelings. Aren't we brothers? Definitely, you are my Funga, forever. Good brother, I didn't misjudge you, Tizi, you're really reliable. Of course, Wang Tai, can't do anything, but I know loyalty. A lifetime, two brothers, nothing needs to be said. Hey, I'm thirsty, is this your Wangzai milk? Yeah, Fenga, would you like to try it? Hey, that's not good at all. Yifeng took it, tilted his head back, and gulped down a big mouthful. Riding a bike is really tiring. After finishing it, Yifeng handed the bottle back to him. Tastes good, this stuff really quenches thirst. I'll go up first, okay? Sure. Wang Tai stood stupefied in place. When Yifeng walked away, he realized, shaking the bottle. It was empty. Ah. My Wangzai. Gumushi saw this, and covered her mouth with a smile. Yifeng is a bad egg. She quickly followed him, catching up to Yifeng. 2 months left until the college entrance exam, most subjects have been covered, and the remaining time is mostly spent on practice exams and self-study. Every week, there are basically 2 practice exams, and after 2 more self-study classes today, the remaining time is all for exams. After going through the practice exams, Yifeng also understood his shortcomings. Apart from math and English, where he was confident of getting full marks, he had forgotten many key points in other subjects. It seems he needs to review more on language, physics, and other subjects. Striving to memorize all the key points before the college entrance exam and aiming for outstanding results to make his parents happy. After the test, the last class is self-study. Yifeng took out a few crumpled 1 yuan bills from his pocket, counting them, realizing he only had 8 yuan of pocket money left this month. This amount of money is not enough to buy a birthday gift for Gumushi. Despite her cool and proud exterior, Gumushi actually has the same desires as other girls and likes cute dolls and plush toys. She especially wants a big duck, one of those giant duck plush toys that are as tall as a person. But such a big toy costs over 100 yuan. 100 yuan is a huge amount for an ordinary person in this era. Fenga, you've counted it so many times, what are you trying to do? Counting it won't magically increase. Wang Tai scratched his head, curious. After a moment of contemplation, Yifeng asked, Tizi, do you want to earn money? Of course I do, but my mom won't let me. She says I should focus on studying for the university entrance exams and not do part-time jobs. Wang Tai replied, feeling troubled. After school, follow me for a while, let's find some work. Yifeng patted his shoulder, speaking seriously. Okay. The school bell rang, and Yifeng and Wang Tai quickly left. Gumushi shouted from behind, Yifeng, where are you guys going? Not going home? I'm taking Tizi to see around, you go back first, don't miss me too much. Yifeng didn't even look back as he spoke. Gumushi was taken aback, then humphed, smelly Yifeng, I'll go back by myself. Riding their bikes, Wang Tai carried Yifeng to a commercial street near the middle school. Let's go, Tizi, there are many stores here, let's go check them out. Yifeng said. In fact, he already had a preliminary plan in mind. When someone wants to earn money, they should first understand their strengths, use their skills to earn a part of the money, or accumulate the initial capital. This is very important. In his previous life, through his hard work, he built a business empire worth billions, with advanced business management concepts and entrepreneurial thinking. Returning to the year 2000, he could foresee future business opportunities, and that was his biggest capital. After leaving a game company, he developed a game with a colleague, which was later acquired by a gaming company under the Penguin Group, giving him his first fortune. This was a typical case of accumulating initial capital through personal skills and abilities. With this initial capital, he started his own gaming company and embarked on the path of entrepreneurship. However, repeating the process of building an empire like before is no longer feasible. In 2000, computer hardware was not mature and the network infrastructure was underdeveloped. So his initial plan was to see if there were opportunities related to computer hardware. As a computer science major, he was knowledgeable about computers, maybe he could use this skill to earn some money. Fenga, look, there's a computer store here. Wow, I really want to have a computer to play with. Fenga, how much does a computer cost? Wang Tai looked at a computer store window display, drooling over the desktop machines inside. Here, check out this brochure. Yifeng smiled. Wang Tai glanced down. Below the display, there was a board showing information about 3 different computer configurations. He couldn't understand the hardware details, but the numbers below were readable to him. 18,988. 19,988. 21,888. Oh my god. So expensive. Wang Tai was stunned. Yifeng shook his head, these are just average configurations, if you want higher specs, it's even more expensive. Among the 3 configurations listed, the lowest priced at 18,988 yuan was the Tianlu 9570. It had an Intel P3500 MHz CPU, a Magia PX68A motherboard, only 64M memory, a Diamond 4th Gen hard drive, 4.3G capacity, a Samsung 700s display, 14 inches, and ran Windows 98. Yifeng found this configuration appalling, but in that era, it was considered a good mainstream option. However, this price tag was a deterrent for most middle-class families. The average state-owned enterprise worker's monthly salary was only 700 to 800 yuan, and saving 1,000 for a whole year was considered good. It would take 2 years just to afford a computer at this price range. For the average person, a computer was definitely a luxury item. Boss, can't you help fix this computer here? It's really important for us. I can't play games without it. I can't fix it here, I only sell computers. If you need repairs, I have to send it back to the manufacturer for inspection and repair. I really can't fix it here. How long will it take to send it for repair? If it's fast, about 20 days. What? 20 days? That's too long. Isn't there any other way? I'm sorry, is there another store you can ask? No, boss, you must fix it within 3 days, or I'll complain to the authorities. Hey, kid, what's wrong with you? The voices of 2 loud men suddenly came from the store, catching Yifeng and Wang Tai's attention. Yifeng peeked his head in and saw a young man in school uniform sitting inside, with an indifferent look. You? You know how to fix computers? The chubby boss looked Yifeng up and down skeptically, his expression disbelieving. What's a high school student doing here causing a commotion? Nonsense. Hee, boss, I've actually studied computer repair. Why don't you give me a try to see if I can do it? Yifeng remained calm and nonchalant, smiling slightly without a hint of nervousness. The young student asked doubtfully, really? Can you really fix it? Just by looking at it, I know if I can fix it or not, Yifeng confidently replied. The young student saw the confidence in his eyes and felt a bit intrigued. He didn't want to send his computer back to the factory for repairs, it would take too long. If it's fast, it takes 20 days, and if it's slow, over a month is normal. He couldn't wait a day without playing games, he felt uncomfortable all over. Alright, you can give it a try, the young student decided. The chubby boss widened his eyes and exclaimed, is this okay? What if he breaks the computer? It's my computer. If he breaks it, I'll buy a new one. The young student retorted with confidence. The chubby boss had nothing more to say. Fine, it's your stuff, not mine. If any parts are broken during the repair, my shop won't be responsible for warranty. Wang Tai whispered from behind, Feng, do you really know how to fix computers? Didn't I tell you I do? Yifeng chuckled. With a background in computer science and a top graduate from a prestigious university, fixing computers was child's play for him. Yifeng walked over and first booted up the computer to identify the problem. After pressing the power button, the system loaded, but instead of entering the desktop, a blue screen appeared. It was a classic blue screen. The system loaded successfully, but couldn't reach the desktop, indicating a possible problem with the graphics card. What do you think? Have you figured out the problem? The young student anxiously asked. The chubby boss shook his head with a smile, I suspect it's a hardware issue rather than a software one. Besides sending it back for repairs, there's no other solution. You might as well not bother. Don't end up breaking the computer. A high school student knowing how to fix computers? It's ridiculous. He didn't have much faith in Yifeng's ability to fix the computer. Yifeng, however, was confident and smiled, saying, it's not a big issue. There's no need to send it back for repairs, I already know the cause of the problem. Really? What's the cause? The young student eagerly asked. Yifeng pointed to the main unit, saying, the graphics card is faulty. We'll know for sure once we open it. Boss, can I borrow a screwdriver? The chubby boss had a look of doubt on his face, but obediently handed Yifeng a set of tools. Yifeng skillfully removed the computer case with the screwdriver, revealing the hardware inside to everyone. It was a dedicated graphics card that could be removed, not an integrated one. Yifeng detached the graphics card from the motherboard to check its model. It was an Elite S320 model, a high-end card for that period. He had seen advertisements for it selling for 2,500 yuan per card. Yifeng carefully examined the card, then a smile crept onto his face. So that's it. Huh? What is it? What's wrong? The young student was curious, but couldn't see the issue. Yifeng pointed out with the screwdriver, look here, 2 sets of pin legs are loose, numbers 1 and 2. If they come off, the graphics card can't read data. The young student moved closer and noticed 2 pin legs on the board were almost breaking off, unlike the intact legs. Wow. I didn't see that coming, the young student was surprised. He didn't expect Yifeng to find the problem so quickly. The chubby boss was also dumbfounded. A high school student checking a graphics card? Unbelievable. Does he really know how to fix computers? Buddy, can it still be fixed? The young student asked nervously. Yifeng contemplated for a moment and then extended it, saying, fixable, but it's a bit of manual work. Essentially, it meant he could fix it as long as there was compensation. If you can fix it, I'll give you 500 yuan as repair fee. The young student generously offered. Deal. You're generous. What should I call you? Yang Jian. Yifeng. The two shook hands, solidifying the repair agreement. Yifeng initially thought 50 yuan would do, but to his surprise, the other party offered 500 yuan, which he promptly accepted. Money's there to be made, damn it. 500 yuan, almost the monthly salary of an average worker. Who knew this guy was so wealthy, being able to spend this much on a high-end computer? With his setup, it must have cost around 28,000 or even 30,000 yuan. If he could spend this much, an extra 500 yuan repair fee was likely insignificant to him. Boss, may I use your work table? Yifeng requested the chubby boss. Sure, go ahead, the chubby boss nodded, feeling a bit sour. 500 yuan for repairs was no small sum. Yifeng sat at the work table, started by cleaning the dust off the graphics card. As time passed, an hour had flown by. Yang Jian anxiously asked, how's it going? Still not fixed? Is it very difficult? Yifeng rubbed his eyes and nodded seriously, frowning, don't be fooled by its size. Repairing the pin legs is a very tricky task. But rest assured, we're almost done, and it'll be fixed soon. In reality, it was a simple task, soldering the pin legs back was all it took. Normally, it would only take about 15 minutes to do the job, plain sailing. He purposely delayed it to create a sense of value for the customer. When customers perceive your dedication and expertise, they feel your service is worth the price. If solved easily, they'd deem your service and expertise not worth the fee, leading to potential bargaining next time. It's like some traditional Chinese medicine practitioners specializing in treating lumbar problems. A regular practitioner charges around 100 yuan. In a few minutes, simple massaging can alleviate the discomfort. However, high-end clinics might offer a multi-step treatment involving acupuncture and cupping that takes hours, yielding the same relief, but charging over 1,000 yuan. The customers feel the service was very beneficial and prefer the higher cost. If a regular practitioner increases prices, customers might walk away instantly. This is the effect of perceiving value differently. After a few more minutes of delaying, Yifeng stood up and said, all right, it's fixed. Let's reinstall it now. Fantastic. Yang Jian exclaimed. He eagerly watched as Yifeng refitted the graphics card, then powered it up for a test. As expected, the monitor quickly displayed the Windows 98 desktop. It's working. It's working. Haha. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your hard work. Yang Jian shook Yifeng's hands emotionally. It wasn't too hard, Yifeng replied nonchalantly. Yang Jian said seriously, buddy, I didn't expect you to have such skills. Being just a high school student, you fixed my computer in an hour. It's beyond my expectations. No need for factory repairs. You did it in an hour. The money spent was well worth it. Yang Jian opened his wallet, revealing a stack of cash, roughly 2,000 to 3,000 yuan. He counted out 600 yuan and handed it to Yifeng. 500 yuan might be a bit low. I'll add another 100 yuan as your hard work compensation. Haha, generous, Mr. Yang. Yifeng grinned, unable to contain his excitement and happiness. Money in the bank, money in the bank. This was 600 yuan. Almost a month's salary for an average worker.